Hey, welcome to WRMN 1410 AM. This is our Veterans Day broadcast for Life Experiences with William Pelarenos. And I am your host for the show the next 48 minutes. I have a special guest here today, Mr. Raymond Murphy, who is the curator of the Norridge Veterans Military Museum. Did I say that right, Ray?
That's correct.
All right. Thank you for being here today. It's a small museum. It's very interesting. It's got some artifacts. There's museums all over the country. There's large ones like Dayton, Ohio, that I've been to. There's one by Eglin Air Force Base in Florida. It's huge. But this is one of those smaller ones, and it has a lot of backstories in there. And I asked Ray to come in and tell us some of those backstories, because every veteran story is important. And on the board today, we have Sonar, another military veteran from the U.S. Navy.
Booyah Navy. That's right. Sonar technician. That was it. USS Anzio is where I was boarded.
God bless.
Yeah, it was fun.
Hey, what's our phone lines? Our phone lines are open.
Phone lines are open, 847-931-1410. We can also take text lines. If you've got a picture of a veteran or something like that, please send it on in. Send it to the text line, 505-926-1410. And we are live on YouTube as well to see some of these amazing pictures from the Norridge Veterans Museum. You can head on over to youtube.com. Find us at WRMN Radio.
All right, let's get into the show. Raymond, the museum, where's it located?
The museum is located at 7774 West Irving Park Road in Norridge, Illinois, right across the street from a funeral parlor.
Yeah, well, we don't want to talk about that. So listen, how long have you been the director there?
I've been the director for 12 years.
At the museum?
At the museum.
Very good. And that's a voluntary position, correct?
Right.
Yeah, so Raymond does this, the goodness of his heart for veterans, and it's only open, if I remember this correctly, Tuesdays, Thursdays, 10 till 3.
Exactly.
All right. So Tuesdays or Thursdays, you can stop by the museum. Ray's usually there, give you a nice little tour, and there's a lot of backstories. One of the most fascinating backstories is the wedding dress. Pop up that picture, will you? There you go. Tell us the backstory of this one.
This is a wedding dress that was made by a woman in the Army before there was an Air Force. She was a farrier of planes from airplane manufacturing sites around the country, and she would fly them to military bases. Back then, there was no Air Force. It was the Army Air Corps. And she would pick up planes, fly them, and then she'd hitch a ride back to her next job and fly them. And there were like 10,000 planes per month being ferried to various military bases. They had a similar thing going on in London, England. And last week, I was in London, England, and they take this Veterans Day very seriously. They don't call it Veterans Day, however, they call it Remembrance Day. And the first Remembrance Day was 1 year after World War II ended, after the victory over Europe.
Let's hold thought of that. Sonar, you know the difference between Veterans Day and Memorial Day, right?
Yes, absolutely.
What is it, buddy?
Veterans Day is our day, buddy. That's ours. It's for the people that made it back home. Memorial Day or for the ones that did not.
Yes, very good. Very good. And Veterans Day, if I remember correctly, was started November 11th at 11 a.m. in 1911 because of... 1917 because of World War I ending, right?
I think, but they called it Armistice Day at that point.
Yes.
Exactly. And we used to call it Armistice Day.
Okay.
And it was changed to Veterans Day. And England changed it to
Remembrance
Day.
Okay. But it's all about the same thing, right? It's all about the
Exactly.
veterans that returned home and the veterans, especially here in the United States. It's Veterans Day. So if you meet a veteran, you see a veteran, you have the ability to thank a veteran. The way I look at it is I have to posthumously thank for Memorial Day. If you can physically thank the person in person, it's Veterans Day is the day for that.
And if you follow us on YouTube, I have a bunch of hats here,
You sure
military
do.
hats. I have one, retired Navy. This is one I wear. Here's another retired Navy. I have, I believe, an Air Force. Oh, this is the 250th anniversary this year of the Navy, the Army, and the Marine Corps.
All of us.
Now, what Ray was talking earlier about the Army Air Corps, the Air Force was started after World War II in 1947 because the planes are coming in under Navy and Army Air Corps at the time. And, you know, air technology just started 20, 30 years before that. So it was important for the government to have its own Air Force strictly maintain the plane. But the Navy, the Marine Corps, the Army, they've all still got planes.
Absolutely.
All right, let's get back to that wedding dress because that's an important issue. That's the lady that made the wedding dress, and she made it out of a parachute, correct?
Correct. It was her parachute, and she and a lady assistant made that wedding dress. And when she was wed, a year or so later, she wore that dress. And it's still in pretty good shape. It was made of silk.
She
It's
donated.
beautiful.
She donated to your museum.
Right, right. And she just passed away about 3.5, 4 years ago. Her name was Josephine Picara.
Let's go to the next photo. That's part of her
This
parachute.
is part of her uniform. So in the museum, I don't know if we're going to see it here, but she had two uniforms. One was her military uniform that she wore when flying, and the other was her wedding dress made from her parachute.
All right. Now, there's some other nice items. There's flip forward some of these photos. Oh, that's her story. Back up. There it is. So you have, when you go to the museum, you got the backstories all framed up there.
Right, right.
All right. Let's go forward with the museum. Sailor's outfit.
The Cracker Jacks, right?
Right.
Cracker Jacks. If I can find mine, I will personally donate it to your museum. They're from 1981, and
Okay.
I stopped wearing them in 1986.
Yeah, they were still made out of wool when I was wearing them too. So it
Really?
was there. Yeah, sure were.
Did you also have a pea coat?
Sure did. I still have my peacoat.
Yes.
Yeah.
People wanted to buy it. I wouldn't.
Oh, you can't. You can't have that. You can't take it.
Yes.
It's stamped with my name
Can you
and
still
everything
fit
off of it.
in it?
Yes. Luckily, I still can. We'll see this winter. I haven't tried it on yet, but last winter I was still able to.
All right. Flip to the next photo. Let's see what this is. Raymond, and you know that's an interesting artillery shell there. What is that, Raymond?
That is a demo artillery shell. It's not live. And we have 4 of those around the table.
And what caliber are those? They look like 5-inch or so.
I don't think it's 5. I think
Okay.
it's 4, perhaps.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they had a few of them. The battleships obviously had the larger sides of it. I believe they had 16-inch guns on those, and that is a massive bullet. That's the size of your head. And then on my ship, we had 2 5-inch guns, and they launched something like that too. And you shoot it so far that you got to calculate the curvature of the Earth as well to make sure that you can get it. And those things are heavy. I can't imagine it falling out of the sky on me.
Yeah, I would not want to be in the receiving.
No.
You would not want to shoot a cannon with that shell in it from, say, a 16-inch runabout, because it would throw the boat
Absolutely.
way back.
Yeah, and our ship was only 535 feet anyway, so I don't think we could have fit a 16-inch gun on that. The bottom part of it here is the actual where the powder and everything goes.
Right.
It's that top part, that first top half, that is actually the round.
Yes.
And then it shoots out to the casing, and it makes big old dents in my ship that I have to repaint.
Let's move along. World War II veterans. There's not a lot of many World War II veterans, and we have a weekly meeting in Niles with veterans, and we have a World War II veteran. I believe he just hit his 100th birthday.
Wow.
Yeah, so there's very few of those guys left around, and I give them all the credit in the world. And World War II, millions of people were killed. And the devastation across the world was just horrific. And that has been known as the greatest generation because a lot of those men and women made self-sacrifices. A lot of them did not come back. And we're going to talk about that on Memorial Day. I have a lot of backstories for that. So let's go to the next photo. Oh, Ray, go.
Okay. This is the Purple Heart on the right. And
Bronze Star.
Bronze Star.
Bronze Star.
Over there on the left.
Explain what the Purple Heart is.
The Purple Heart is for someone who was injured in the line of duty. It's not required that they be killed. It's just, they were physically injured.
And I think separate injuries, people have been awarded separate Purple Hearts.
Yes.
Right.
Oh, you're aware of that?
Separate incidents from it. Yeah.
Yes. So if somebody's been shot, let's say it's World War II. Let's say you were shot on Zio, and you survived it, and then you went to the Battle of Bulge and you were wounded there too. It's two separate Purple Hearts.
Absolutely.
So, and then the Bronze Star is a very, I wish we had a Silver Star there too. These are very, very courageous. They just don't give them out to anybody.
No, they don't. I have a few medals for myself, but I've never. Luckily, I've never earned a Purple Heart. That's the first one. And Bronze Star is absolutely for courageous warfighters as well.
All right, let's go next. Oh, that's a nice little.
Yeah, so this is the continuation of this picture here, which is 6 medals and U.S. Marshal Badge, World War II veteran cap, knife from Finland, and the Apollo anniversary knife.
Let's continue on with these photos. Oh, that's a wooden replica.
That's the replica, right?
That you know what? I lifted it up. That's very light. I don't know what kind of wood is that, balsam or what? That's very light compared to that metal one.
Oh my goodness! Yeah, that's why you wear steel toe shoes.
All right, keep on going with these. Oh, these are the Norridge veterans, correct?
Correct. And these are Norridge veterans who lost their lives in service of the country. And at the museum, we have this collage. And in addition, we have a book that, can we see that? Yes. Okay. So it addresses each individual airman, soldier, Navy personnel. Here's a fella in.
That's Vietnam era.
Vietnam,
if you could raise that.
That's a Huey. Yeah.
Yeah. If you could raise that a little bit.
Oh.
Yep. The camera's right there.
There you go. Let me get that.
Great.
Okay.
Moving on. That's the Huey helicopter there.
Mm-hmm.
There you go. And we'll post that on the second half. We'll get a screenshot of it and we'll post it on their second half.
The same Huey or a similar one is what you saw on the MASH TV show.
Oh,
at the beginning.
And people can submit as well if somebody knows a veteran from Norridge or anything like that, they can submit to this?
Yes, and we have something that's new. We've only been doing for 2 years. We have banners all around the village of people who served in the military.
Oh, fantastic.
And that's displayed at Memorial Day.
All
And
right,
it's very well received.
so this collage is men that lost their lives in battle, right?
Correct.
All right, let's go to the next one.
Okay, give me a second. I got to pull those up.
I'm sorry?
I got to pull them up. Give me just a second.
All right. So while we're talking about this, another important thing about whether you go to a large museum or a small museum, they all got local stories. And the local story is important because a lot of people other than the locals and their family members don't know about this. So you're doing the village a favor and you're getting the information out. So, okay, what kind of, what is it?
The tag says German Mauser pistol contributed by Raymond J. Meeks, served with General Patton. World War II souvenir, sorry.
If anybody doesn't know General Patton, you need to go back to high school.
That's very true.
That's incredible. You know what I'm saying? Patton is historical.
Mm-hmm.
And
Here's your Cracker Jack again.
yes,
And which era is this one from?
it has to be much earlier. Maybe
World War II, World War I, maybe?
two, maybe, huh?
Yeah. We have a vet in Norridge who can still fit in his uniform.
Fantastic.
We're working on finding a smaller mannequin. The guy it's amazing. You know?
I have to buy Navy T-shirts here.
Yeah, exactly. We'll get one with a Cracker Jack on
Yeah.
it. for
What size would you like, Mr. Pelarenos? Extra small? All right. Tell us about the Seven Seals Award.
Okay. Well, before I got involved in the village of Norridge, I was an ombudsman with an organization called Employer Support of the Guard and Reserve. And people who serve in the reserve components or in the National Guard have a legal obligation to serve. And it could have been voluntary. In the old days, it could have been a draft obligation. But frequently, people would get into a dispute between their civilian employer, might have been the phone company, General Motors, whatever, and their obligation on the military. So I was an ombudsman. I would help resolve disputes between the military's, Guard or Reserve and the
Employee.
Civilian employer.
Because the
And
National Guard or the Reserve have to have 2 weeks of
Drill.
duty, and then they also have, I think, 1 weekend a month as well for
Right.
that.
Yes, that's their obligation, but the employers have to give them time off. But here's a problem. They don't have to pay them. So I remember when I get a civilian job, actually, after I got in the Navy, I started working at the Cook County Jail. And the jail did not pay me for my first 2-week, it's called ACDUTRA, Active Duty for Training. So when I went for that first 2 weeks, because I didn't have a year at the jail, they didn't pay me for that 2 weeks. And the money that I earned in that training was much less than I was making at the jail.
Absolutely.
So it was a tough period there. But by the time I got to the police department, my salary had risen and I had more time in rank at the Navy. So yes, an employer can have a dispute with somebody. It's rare nowadays. There's more for employers. There's more patriotism,
Yeah.
as opposed to the average person.
And many civilian employers would pay the difference between the military pay and what the
What the normal
service
salary
member
would-
would normally get. Now, some employers would just pay the regular, and so in effect, the military guy or gal would be double dipping, if
Yeah,
you
like
will.
a paid time off type of thing.
It was very nice. And I know Deerfield, the village of Deerfield, did that. would, just pay them their normal paychecks.
What's the big deal? It's a multi-million-dollar organization. You're talking about 2 weeks.
So where does the Seven Seals Award come into this?
So this is for the various branches, the Coast Guard, the Army, the Navy, Marines, and so on. And they're going to add another sales. There's going to be 8 because of the Space Corps.
Of course.
But anyhow, because I had been assigned and helped to resolve a number of disputes, they awarded me this after 10 years of service.
Fantastic. Thank you for your support.
All right. Pop up with some more photos from the museum. Okay. What do we got there?
This is the National World War II Memorial dedicated the National Mall in Washington, D.C. It looks like a piece of the mall.
Keep on going.
Let's see here. We've got to hit a break here coming up, but it does look like it's also got like you were saying, the 50 caliber round as well next to it. So you can find that at the museum in Norridge.
All right, we going commercial break?
Sure are.
All right, we'll be back in 2 minutes right here with Life Experiences with William Pelarenos, our Veterans Day episode. Hey, welcome back. This is the second half of Life Experiences with William Pelarenos. And I am William Pelarenos here. This is our Veterans Day broadcast. I am here with Raymond Murphy, who is the director of the Veterans Military Museum in Norridge, Illinois. And Raymond was just where? Were you in England here? What is this poppy field?
London, England. And they take Remembrance Day very seriously in England and throughout Europe. And this was an exhibit, 872,000 glass poppies. And I have one here, you can see. And these were compressed into the moat that goes around the Tower of London. And so 872,000 of these things.
And what is the significance of the poppy?
Well, poppies represent the dead, and of course, there were drugs that were manufactured from poppies.
You know,
there's a poem.
there is a poem, and I believe poppies have grown on battlefields. So they correlated, and you'll see sometimes around Memorial Day, there's fundraisers, people standing in the corners. And once you give some donation, they give you a plastic poppy.
Right.
Yes,
or
it's
paper sometimes now.
Yeah, it's significant of that. So there is that poem. It's a famous poem too.
And it's supposed to be a remembrance with UK and the Commonwealth countries for the red poppy worn on Remembrance Day to honor those who've died. It also talks about because of like you were saying, for the opium and things like that. That's where it also symbolizes that eternal sleep for it too. The connection to death comes from the color in the use of the poppies in both Greek and Roman myths, offerings for the dead. So it's been there for quite a while.
Yes, and if you're just joining us on the first half, we explained that Veterans Day in England is known as Remembrance Day. So they're very grateful of our World War II service to them. You were being thanked several times when you were in England, right?
Right. A gentleman walked up to me in a restaurant in Normandy, and he said, "You're a Yank, aren't you?" And I said, "Well, yes, I'm from the United States." And he said, "Well, I want to thank you." And I said, "For what?" He said, "For saving our butts." and he said, "If it weren't for the Americans, we'd all be speaking German."
Yes.
And so I said, "Well, I didn't personally have anything to do with that. I was, a little bit before my time. But thank you, sir, for
World War II ended in 1945, but they still make in England, and they really they really focus on the sacrifices that the Americans and everybody else made for them.
Oh, absolutely. And it is one of those things that it needs to be remembered, right? And this is why that you have this museum,
Right.
Not only for the national side, but also to bring it home to Norridge, where you also, like you were talking about, have that memorial for those that have fallen, that have come from the community.
Hey, before we go to some pictures, you upload those pictures.
Yeah.
I have my own little item here. I bought this from a military surplus store. I believe this is Vietnam era. I believe it's from 67. This is an ammo box, and it's heavy duty steel.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, they sure are. They still carry them in those containers. I remember humping those up and down the ship.
And according to the engraving on the side, it carried 100 cartridges of 50 caliber rounds, Link M9, 4-ball M33, one tracer round. You know what tracer rounds
Oh,
are?
absolutely. Yeah. You needed to see at night where you're shooting.
Where you're, a tracer round. And, you know, we have them for handguns too. So you're firing a certain number of rounds. Every like 7th or 17th round.
We did
will
it
be
per 5.
first 5?
Yeah, we did it per 5. So you do 5. The 6th one was a tracer.
Okay, so the tracer actually shows you where your rounds are going, whether it be a handgun or heavy duty equipment like this. And this had contained one tracer round, and it's from 67. So I bought this at a military surplus store. Now, when you go buy ammo boxes, you know they're made of plastic.
Right. It was sold at Harbor Freight.
You know, there's something, you know, they're lighter to carry, but there's something missing when you don't have the heavy duty stuff.
Oh, yeah. And they get crushed too. I mean, on the ship, there are a lot of heavy things. And so if you don't have something to protect ammunition like this, then you are going to end up with a big old crushed box of ammunition.
You know, there's always military surplus store events going on, and people sell military surplus, not ammunition, but, you know, like ammo boxes and uniforms and medals. I would never buy a medal because those are earned. I'm just not worthy of it. But there are people that collect memorabilia like that, and God bless them for what they like, you know. But I bought quite a few ammo boxes. So this one, Ray, I'd like to donate to your museum.
Oh, well, thank you. Appreciate it.
Yeah, so take it with you when we leave.
Okay.
And his museum is located, tell everybody where you're at.
7774 West Irving Park Road in Norridge, Illinois.
All right, we're going to
Thank you again, Bill.
pop up some more photos. Those are World War II helmets, I believe, right?
Right.
They're shown at the museum, and Ray's the curator there. If you go on a Tuesday or on a Thursday, 10 to 3, he'll give you a walkthrough and he'll tell you the backstory. So can you read the card there?
Yeah, it says World War II steel helmet and liner, 4 105 millimeter wooden training shells, wooden ammunition box, contributed by Mario Guzmando in memory of Peter J. Barone, CPO USS Pennsylvania.
CPO is Chief Petty Officer.
Sure is.
All right, let's pop another photo from our museum there.
Yeah.
Uniforms.
Yeah, and which branch are these uniforms here?
I believe that's Army.
Looks that way.
Yeah.
I only know the Navy ones. They only taught me those in boot camp.
I got to ask, you still have your Cracker Jacks?
I do. I've got them somewhere. More than likely, my mom has them. Not me. My mom has them somewhere. But yeah, I've got the dress blues and everything else. And then I worked in a office setting for a little bit, so I didn't necessarily wear dungarees all the time. So I would rotate that out from the dress blues to the utilities, or the what we called the Johnny Cashes, where it was literally black pants, black belt, black shirt, black tie, everything ready to go.
You know what? I was after you get out of boot camp and then you go through training, I was very proud to be in the Navy. And things worked so well. And looking back on my life, the only mistake I ever made was getting out. I should have stayed 20 years because I thought the whole world worked so effectively as the Navy.
did. Yeah. You turn around and you realize that the whole world's full of civilians.
No. When you're in the Navy, especially if you're single, it's much easier. And what you do is you work, you eat, you sleep, work, eat, sleep, work, eat, sleep. And the days go very fast. The weeks, the months, the years, they just pass.
It's true. Well, for me, it was living on the ship was what made that routine so routine, because you literally rolled out of bed, your rack, you're right there at work already. And then even underway, it was the same side for it was underway. We're all there. I can't order a pizza. I can't call the fire department. It's us. So that was always a good time. I think the longest I've spent out to sea was we did almost 180 days straight. We had two days where we were in port so that they wouldn't give us our 90-day beers. If you're out to sea for 90 days in the Navy, they give you 2 beers. If you pull in on day 89, they reset the clock for you.
So there were a lot of reentries on day 89. Huh?
And now, if I remember correctly, some of those ships hold as many as 4,000 people.
Oh, absolutely. The large aircraft carriers, it's a small city. And even then, some of the amphibs are still in the 2,000 range as well. We had, I think, under 500 with both crew and officers.
Wow.
So somewhere around there. I was on a guided missile cruiser, so it's the larger guy of the small guys.
For people that are unfamiliar with military service, in the Navy, there was 3 breakdowns. You were a seaman, like Sonar was. He's out the ship. I was an airman. I was aviation. I was involved with planes on land bases. And there's firemen. That was the 3rd designation. So I never got to a ship. I was involved in, working on the P-3 aircraft. Now, at the time I was in, it was the Cold War, 1981. Ronald Reagan had just come in. I was working on the barracks support the day Ronald Reagan was shot. And it was such a traumatic event. Here's a brand new president, and he started rebuilding the military. That was his goal. And all of a sudden, he's shot. And I remember the panic that was going through. And I remember one guy comes through the barracks, and rumors spread like wildfire, right? And he comes up, and I was in the barracks, and my job was to secure the barracks. You've done barracks support, barracks watch, whatever you want to call it.
Internal rover or something like that.
Yeah, so that day, it was mine. I had the whole building to myself. Guy comes in, he goes, the president's been shot. I go, I know, I've been watching on TV. He goes, we're going to war. I said, against whom? The people that shot him.
What? Okay. I'm pretty sure there's a law against that. But this is a picture of me and my Cracker Jacks right here.
Oh.
That's it. This is right after boot camp for me. I went to Great Lakes just like everybody else does. And then, got my
You see how that Cracker Jack design has changed from that World War II one? It's changed over the years, the uniform. Even though it's basically structurally the same, the design of it has changed.
Yeah, they've changed a little bit of the design. They tried to keep it more of that original side. You still have your kerchief. You still have your cape on the back. We still wear the Dixie cups for everything, too. And we still have the 13 buttons on the front of those pants and the quick release tab in the back just in case. But those 13 buttons on that thing, it's like wearing those old school pajamas, but the flaps in the front instead of the back on there.
This uniform reminds me, I had the same thing, but it reminds me of a film. I got to name one film. Did you ever see The Sand Pebbles with Steve McQueen?
No, I didn't.
You've never seen The Sand Pebbles? That was a great film. It took a long time to film. It was the only film Steve McQueen was nominated for an Academy Award, and he plays a first-class petty officer, a machinist mate on a ship. And the ship is in China. We get a phone call?
I sure do.
Bring it in.
Welcome aboard. Hello, person caller.
Oh, sorry about that.
That's okay.
I got a question.
Yeah.
In the military, why do they make everybody wear a T-shirt underneath their work clothes?
Oh, you're saying the crew cut, the crew shirt for everything?
Yeah.
It's part of your military uniform for it. What they want to make sure of is that you can still take off your uniform and you are not naked. So what they do is it's technically, when they classify it, it's technically underwear for it. So you it's part of your, what we call skivvies.
Yes, I was going to say that.
So you've got your white shirt, you've got your actual underwear and your socks, and that is the first layer of your uniform.
Oh, okay. Because other people told me it was to absorb the sweat.
That too.
Well, yeah, undershirts are definitely able to do that as well. And then essentially when you see it, even for me here in my jumper, that is just a jumper. It just goes right on top. It's built the same kind of way that you would see a hoodie. But instead of having a hood on the back, we've got that beautiful pinstripe cape.
All right. Yeah, I was wondering because I've heard a couple of different things over the years, and I just thought I'd call because you guys are talking about it now.
Yeah, I wear one even today. I still got one on. It's one of the uniform sides to it. The other thing that you can do too is I also use it as a utility in case I need to throw a tourniquet. I have extra cloth that I'm able to use as well. That's also something I use it for. Mm-hmm.
That's smart, yeah.
You know, the one thing about the Navy, or I'm sure the Army does too, they taught us a lot of survival skills.
Oh, yeah. I can turn a shirt into a flotation device. So that may be another reason why people wear it.
Yes. And if you know the story of the USS Indianapolis, which was made famous in the movie Jaws, those sailors floated for 5 days.
Oh, yeah.
They didn't have rafts. They were using...
So even in that point, they couldn't pull anybody up by their arms. They had to pull those sailors up by their uniforms. They had been waterlogged so much that when they were rescued and people were grabbing at their arms, the flesh was coming off. So that was another reason why we wear uniforms all the time as well. In case I'm knocked unconscious or anything, somebody can still grab me and pull me up without grabbing onto anything. We try to be as utilitarian as possible. Do you have any veterans in your life, sir?
I do. I got quite a few of them. Actually, my dad, my uncles, my brothers. I never served, but they all did. And actually, my brother's wife, her grandfather says that his grandfather has a street in Bolingbrook, that street called Royce Boulevard. They say it was named after somebody named Royce in the U.S. Navy, one of the top guys going back like World War II.
That's fantastic. Well, thank your family for serving. We really appreciate that, sir.
Yeah, no problem. You're welcome. Thank you, guys. You have a good weekend.
You too.
Take care. Before we cut out here, we got about 6 minutes. I want to show something I was honored with this year. It's called the Quilt of Valor. Why don't you explain what that is while I get
Absolutely. The mission for Quilts of Valor Foundation is to cover service members and veterans touched by war with a comforting and healing Quilts of Valor. You can head on over to QOVF.org, and they will be able to help you point to donations or how to get involved by actually making quilts, all of the different patterns. You can also suggest somebody to actually get this quilt as well.
It's very large, as you can see. And on the back of it, it is registered to me. This has my information on there. So if anybody ever finds it or loses it, or it's always dedicated to me. personally, and it was an honor to receive this. And I did not know I was receiving it till the day before the ceremony. It was just a miscommunication, but let's lift it up a little bit. It has to meet certain specifications, certain measurements. There's a certain design. There's several designs. You just can't go off the grid with these things. And if you want to look them up, just Google Quilts of Valor, and you can get more information on there.
Yep, that's QOVF.org, Quilts of Valor, where you could go in. Let me pull up that website here, where if you head on over, you can go to get involved, where you can actually make quilts. You can look at the different patterns. There's also block drives, and you can present a case to where you can actually make a presentation for somebody with that Quilt of Valor for there. The mission for Quilts of Valor Foundation is to cover service members and veterans touched by war with comforting and healing quilts of valor. Head on over again to QOVF.org. You got about 3 minutes, buddy. What do you got?
As we're winding down, I want to thank Raymond for being here, the Norridge Village Military Veterans Museum. We get a few more photographs you could pop up before we leave.
What I can get here. You sent over the one that you wanted to show was the rations.
Yes, war rations.
Let me show you the war rations right here.
During World War II, we were rationed. Tell them what happened, Raymond, real quickly.
Well, there were shortages of a number of commodities: butter, milk, sugar, and so this rationing was a way of controlling that, depending on your family size and so on. Mm-hmm. So they were given this ration. I believe it was every month, and it
allowed you to purchase that good,
right?
Because they couldn't just have a run on the stores. You said, I would like to buy this amount of meat. I have a war ration for X amount of pounds of beef based off of my family.
Right. And the United States was not the only country that was doing this. Mm-hmm. England and France were heavily into rationing.
Absolutely, because a lot of things went to the war effort.
Right. That was not only devastating human loss of life for World War II, it was also draining on supplies, mm-hmm. steel, sugar especially. And there's documentaries about after World War II ended, how candy companies started because they could use sugar again. Mm-hmm.
Then there was gardens. Everybody had a freedom garden as well to make sure that they could supplement for that too.
Yes. So there's a lot of good information out there. There's a lot of books. We'll cover that on a future episode. There's some great novels. That's some more photographs from items in the museum. The My Military Missile, I believe that's a Bible or a hymn book, right?
I believe so. Mm-hmm.
Yes, and if you can visit these museums, there's backstories there. One of the larger museums, about 5 hours from Chicago, it's in Dayton, Ohio, the Air Force Museum.
That's a great one.
Right, Patterson?
Yes. Mm-hmm. Yes. So thank you, Raymond, for being here. I appreciate everything you've done, and we appreciate your dedication to the museum. Like I said in the beginning of the broadcast, it's voluntary. So join us next week right here on Life Experiences with William Pelarenos on WRMN 1410 AM, and follow me on Facebook on Pelarenos Police Project.